At 10:18 a.m. on July 30th, 2020, my wife texted me during her third trimester appointment, which I couldn't attend because of quarantine protocols. It didn't say that our baby was the size of a strawberry or that our baby's doing well. It simply read, our baby is dead. What? I must have read that wrong. That's not funny. No, that can't be right. We heard the heartbeat twice. Maybe if they do another test. I should have been there for her. Babe, I gotta get there now. I cycled through all 7 stages of grief in less than 30 seconds. I'm sure I'll recycle these feelings in random order at some point, but right now, my wife needs me. I didn't even stop to tell my boss that I needed to go. I try to outrace the pain, but it keeps catching up at every stoplight and stop sign. I beat the brakes off my steering wheel until I stop seeing red, hoping that the steering column isn't misaligned as I speed off again because I can't crash or collapse just yet. Feeling down on my way up, I call an emergency elevator conference. All right, Sharpe, pull it together. You can't let tears fall. I can't afford to have these hands be slippery when I hold my wife. The next 2 hours are a blur. And I find myself back at home. Instead of baby proofing our house, I'm rushing to remove proof of our baby. Our parents make sure that she's off her feet and reclines while I'm rinsing blood out of her Calvin Klein. I squeeze all the strength out of my legs as I sank at the sink. Head on a swivel to make sure no one saw or heard anything, only to see my own bloodshot eyes looking back. Cradling the fabric, I moved from the sink to the tub so that the blood clots wouldn't clog the drain. I kept washing clothes and drying tears so that she doesn't have to see any baby reminders when she walks into our bedroom. Maternity pillows, prenatal paperwork, congratulation cards, and toys all stuffed out of sight. This wasn't covered in what to expect when you're expecting. We're in uncharted waters now, looking for a lifeline. Some people that I just knew would reach out were as quiet as our no longer nursery room. I truly appreciate the people that did reach out to call to check on us and me. But everything's gone Charlie Brown. Womp, 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 womp. It's nuts how I barely hear a thing in these conversations. There is no good grief. Outwardly, I'm doing okay. Just trying to get by, trying to keep busy, be here for my wife. Take it moment by moment. But inwardly, I feel powerless in not being able to help my wife or help lift her mood. Our baby wasn't supposed to weigh this much on us this fast. I just feel heavy and tired all the time. I feel like I'm imploding. My heart feels like it's beating too slow. Like a chamber has been permanently closed off. The room reserved for my baby will not be reassigned. This is the new normal. It'll never not hurt. I constantly have to remind myself not to run these hands across her stomach like I've grown used to doing. This is too new of a wound haunting her womb. I doubt that this pain will ever pass on. The nights pass so much slower now that I'm an even lighter sleeper. I've gained a sensitive ear trained to hear breathing shifts and baby cries. But now I wake up to hold my lady who's missing our baby, and breathing comes in spurts and sobs. Sometimes I forget how to breathe. I often inhale now like I'm holding my breath for this nightmare to end. I find myself having to relax my jaw that I didn't realize I had clenched. I'm more forgetful these days. My wife and my mom keep asking me if I've eaten anything lately, and I don't always have a good answer. I no longer have an appetite for anything except experiences I can't have. There won't be any family trips to introduce our new addition. Lessons like how to ride a bike or first time tasting different foods like ice cream. I scream when I'm alone, trying to relieve this constant pressure in the back of my head. Try to drown it out with longer workouts and showers. It's comforting to know that not all these droplets are coming from my eyes. And it's hard to close them sometimes because leaving them open seems to be the only way to dry them out. My patience is slipping more frequently. It's feeling more appealing to let loose, but I know a slippery slope when I see one. That's why I haven't let myself have a drink in remembrance, because I don't know if it'll lead to the whole barrel. Don't even think about it. You know better. I keep finding myself teaching life lessons to my air. The air. Glass cups aren't substitutes for a baseball, and a wall isn't a substitute for a catcher's mitt. I have to clean it up quickly because I don't want her to find any cracked pieces other than me cracking a smile to show that we're going to be okay. They say it'll be okay. To take consolation in knowing that it was just statistics and that there was nothing that we could have done to avoid this miscarriage. It might be statistics, but that doesn't mean it's fair. Why do they get to have another child before we get to experience our first? That's not fair. I never wish this on anybody. We experienced 11 weeks of heaven before getting thrown down into hell, looking up, asking why the whole way down. God definitely has a sense of humor, a better one than we do. Our placeholder name was Raphael T. Sharpe. Yes, after the best Ninja Turtle. If you don't agree, fight me. But Raphael also means God heals. I'm learning that healing comes in so many different ways. It comes in the form of a 2-year-old niece calling me daddy after not seeing me in person since before she could walk or talk. I know it's because I look like my brother without my beard, which I had shaved during my mourning. And I wanted to yell, "You don't get to call me that. That's reserved for my little one." But all I could do was drop to my knees, hug her tight, and remind her that I'm Uncle Stephen. And silently thank her for letting me know that I'm still worthy of the title of dad. Healing comes from support. Friends and family that won't let you get away with the template answers for frequently asked questions. The ones that will be the bumpers when you're spiraling out of control. Those that will share their own grief, struggles, and journeys of recovery. Healing comes from pouring out pain and feelings onto paper, sharing your story with someone else who will need a comforting word or proof that they aren't alone. I expected to write birthday cards, advice, and wedding speeches, but never an elegy for Raphael, our never born.